Hey Tubes, Redneck Brian here. I have a couple changes of ideas here at the Redneck Brian shop. And the change of ideas are, my stepdad wants to build a pulling tractor. We are debating on what to use. So I have this tractor here, it's the Racer, the current Racer. It has the 14-speed transmission in it, has the ultra low gears, but it's currently set up to run pretty quick right now. So this is where I need you guys' input. Should I take this, which I am going to be still doing the new front end, and convert this into my pulling tractor? And if so, I just want people's ideas. What should I run for a gear ratio? I believe the rear pulley should be fine. It's a stock rear pulley. And I know the front one would need to be changed because this thing currently goes about 25-30 clicks. So, because I had a neighbor drive alongside me and we timed it. So, and now for my new racing tractor, what I want to do is I'm thinking about using this Mastercraft right here. It's the better of the two that I purchased, and basically I got them given to me. Didn't really purchase them, so I had to pay the guy for delivery. And this was the one with the step through. It's a little bit newer body style. But what I want to do is I want to lower it, and I'm not 100% sure if I was to lower this tractor if I would have room to lower it in its stock form, because I have the center step through. The motor's shot. This motor is shot. It needs a lot of work. I think it needs a governor replacement side, so I might just try to sell this motor for parts and be done with it. And I'm still trying to find a carb and air box for this. I've looked on eBay, there's a few on there, but they're quite pricey. So if I can find someone on YouTube that has one, it would be, I prefer that. Then I could get this motor running and do something with it. And then that leads over to this tractor over here, which was originally going to be the run frame. So it might still be, but I just want some input on which tractor does anybody think would work best for the racing tractor, to be set up as a total on racing tractor. And this one does not have the step through. It has the box in the middle there. It has the shift between the legs. Actually, it has both shifters between the legs. Right here, forward and reverse. Neutral, reverse. And they have your speed selector right here. And one thing I don't like about this one is it needs to use these little filler blocks right here for the motor mounts. I'll show you what the motor mounts look like. So you got extra large holes on the motor mounts. So it's a pain in the butt part of this one. That's why I was thinking about using this as my run stand tractor. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to weld those little pieces in there and put a couple smaller bolts in, probably just 2 of them. 2, maybe 4, it doesn't really matter. And basically bolts are small enough that the engine will slip over, and then you just nut and washer on top. And that's going to be the run stand. And the reason why I'm making the run stand so big is just so, because when you got, say if you got a V-twin engine sitting on there running, or even an opposed twin engine sitting on there running, you don't want this thing to be vibrating around like really bad and tip over while that thing's running, and there goes your engine, crack a head, crack a block, whatever. So that's why I'm making it quite large. And like I said before, I'm going to be keeping all the stock wiring harness, the stock dash, throttle, choke, everything. Steering wheel obviously be gone, and maybe we'll keep the hood. I might even try to get the headlights working, because then you can be able to test electrical systems as well. Also, I'm going to be putting a voltage gauge on there. So that's if I use that one. It's like I said, I would like to know people's opinions. Which tractor should become the new Racer? This one here with the step through, or that one over there? There's actually a couple pre-set up racing tractors on Kijiji, but the ad says 150 bucks, which I think it's a typo on the ad price, or it's a phony ad. Because there's a lot of money in this. 2 tractors, both of them are set up. One's wrecked, but it still has a good engine, good rear end, and the other one is set up and ready to go, which is kind of hard to believe. The guy only wants 150 bucks for them. So anyways, this one here is actually already relatively low. It's a lot lower than that one over there, so that's why I'm thinking about making that a puller. Unless I can find an old Sears Suburban, which in this area are very hard to come by, next to impossible to come by. So I might also swap out the rear end in this one to the one that's in the other tractor. I think it's in a little bit better shape. I will have to deal with the shifter. I don't know. I gotta tip these both up on the side and see if they both have the same transaxle in them. I believe they do. I believe Peerless only used one type of transaxle in these Mastercrafts and the MTDs. And I also have a second one, or sorry, it would be a third one over there by the doghouse. So you may be wondering what I'm going to run for an engine. I'm going to stuff an opposed twin in this. I got that opposed twin in the shop. It's a 18.5. It needs the valves done on it. So it basically make me kick my butt in gear and get this thing done. And ready to go. And this will be a full-on race tractor. I'm going to do what Redneck Machine, I believe it's Redneck Machines did. I'm going to bring the front axle forward, and I'm going to actually take the front axle and raise it up. If I have to move it forward, I will, or I'm just looking on here, I might actually be able to flip this axle over. Basically flip the frame of the axle over, because that's those two bolts right there, I believe, are holding the axle in place. Flip that over, have to drill probably one new hole on the one side, try to reuse the one hole, and flip that, and then basically take the axle again and flip the axle back around to this side so I can use the stock linkage. Because if I flip it, it puts the linkage to the right side, and I want the linkage on the left side. That also makes it when I go to replace the front end in this, which will actually lower this tractor a little bit, but it's not going to lower this tractor nearly as much as that one's there. It's going to be lowered. I'm going to have to pull the axle and then basically put the axle back in backwards, because these ones here both have the steering linkage on the left side, and this one here I need it on the right side. So you can see this is on the jumper pack, has a completely dead battery, and it's actually running like a bag of shit. I'll fire it up in a couple minutes. So those are my two ideas, and also I'm going to be running the other tires, the other front tires from the other tractor. I believe they're smaller. I don't know if the back ones are smaller or not, but if I can get these back tires off, and if they're smaller on the other one, I'm going to run them and maybe leave the rear end right where it is, or try to do do a body drop on it. Just basically drop the fenders down. So I just need some input. I need some ideas from you guys, and see what you guys think about my idea. I'm thinking an opposed twin will fit in there. It's going to be tight. I do have that junk opposed twin. I may rip this engine out and try fitting it in there, and yeah. So basically our pulling tractor ideas, my stepdad was thinking about getting an old snowmobile and we would build one out of a snowmobile. But I'm thinking I can use this basically will be my off-roading tractor, and if I can figure out how to get the gear ratio right, and I might be able to make this a puller. Because it has the big back tires, will be much smaller on the front. I'm thinking about getting ag tires for this anyways. It has a really good rear end in it. There's no issues with this rear end. I just need to know what to do. Like, what gear ratio should I run on the engine? I believe I got a 5.5 inch pulley currently on this engine, and it's going to the stock pulley in the rear, and it has the stock clutch in the middle. That's another thing I like about these MTDs, because they use that clutch, and you don't have to set it in the gear and let off. I find it's a lot easier on the transmission running this setup than it would be to run the geared transmission like a 5 or 6 speed. So that's my two project change ideas. So this one here is not being sold. I'm going to keep it, and this will be my new racer. And also being a step through, I like the step through design. It will make it a lot easier to get in and out of it. And I think actually this one will be fairly easy to put a mini roll bar on. I'd probably be able to keep most of this rear frame, remove this back half where the bagger would have sat, and come off of these two bars right here and here, and do a hoop, and do some sort of a cage that will go out to the front end out there. And probably have to put some frame supports in it, because this is what I call a unibody tractor. That one there is a full frame tractor, and the Craftsman is a semi full frame tractor. It's semi unibody, semi full frame. So that's my project change ideas. If anyone has any like interesting facts or ideas, I'd love to know them, and I need to know the pulley ratios. My cousin has a similar tractor to this, or sorry, my second cousin has a similar MTD to this, and it has a really small pulley on the back end. It apparently goes really fast. I've never drove it. Last time I was there, it was they kept on throwing the belt, so I don't want to go too small in the rear end. But this one will be made for speed. I'd like to lower it. I need ideas on how to lower it. If anyone can give me any ideas, or should I use the other tractor, please let me know. So I guess I'll talk to everyone later. Please keep it redneck like always, and please subscribe and comment.